Hi, welcome to the garden today. Today we're going to be taking a walk through the container garden. I've got over 100 different fruits and vegetables growing in containers. This is my wife Kelly.
Hello.
And first one we're going to talk about is an ornamental, and it's a pineapple. Whenever you buy pineapples, you want to make sure you get pineapples if you want it for fruit growth. Yeah, get into that, see what happens though. These got real pointy stickers on it. I did buy it thinking it'd be a big pineapple. This is as big as they get. A little bit of a disappointment, but they are pretty. You know, it's got that going for them. I've not brought it back in. The last time it came down about 28 degrees, I left it underneath this tree. I don't know if we got down to 28 degrees. We did get down around 30. I'm just kind of seeing how much it can handle. I mean, if it kills it, I'm not really worried about it. And it does got stickers on it, and I don't like moving it around because of that. I don't like stickers. But anyway, really nothing enough to talk about on the raspberries. Starting to see a few of the other canes coming in. These canes should be fruiting next year, hopefully. That's the way, hopefully it's going to work. I do got growing in the containers, the 3 different types of onions. We've got the broccoli that we cut the head off of. It should start putting on side shoots. And I am keeping these in water on the bottom so that it'll keep, I don't have to water them all the time. This is a pineapple I grew from either from the top or from one of the sprouts on from one that I got from the top from the grocery store. So it's just one that we've got growing.
This is an acorn top. Didn't know what it was in there. I thought it was a frog.
But anyway, this is one of the late broccolis I put out. If you put them out too late, they kind of get stunted. They don't produce a very big head. So it's not doing well. I've got these ready, prepped up. I'm going to plant my tomatoes tomorrow when it gets cold. And because we can get down to 28 degrees Sunday morning.
Okay.
So, and it's
supposed to be like that tomorrow, is it?
It's going to be colder because my boys do a 4-H shooting, and we have an outdoor range, so it's always cold. You can almost count on it that the first day of shooting it's going to be cold. Yeah, but it's not real cold. It's not going to be 28 degrees, but it's going to be cold. We're wearing short sleeves tomorrow, and I'm going to have to bring some of these plants in because it's going to get down to 28 again. This is the onions I had growing from seeds. I did not trim them back like I should have. I've also hadn't fertilized them very well, so that's one of the reasons they're yellow. These old broccolis I had planted last fall, never planted out. Just didn't have room for them. Over here I had lettuce planted, and something is getting the lettuce, and I'm going to put out, this is Slug Magic. Now it is, I mean, it's iron phosphate, so it's not anything it says on there. One thing you want to read anytime you put out some type of insecticide, it's a proven slug and snail and slug killer. You just put out a little bit, and we'll see if it works. You can let the dog eat it, technically. According to this, it can be used around pets and wildlife. So it's pretty, you know, you don't want to put out some stuff that says just for turf. That stuff's poisonous. This is poisonous to the slugs, but I don't really think it's going to hurt anything. This here is elephant garlic growing here. I had some over there, and those are the little bulbs that came up. So this, on the second year, they're supposed to get a lot bigger. So we're going to see. They're kind of small. We cut this off on the garlic. I mean, on the broccoli. See how it's going to do. And over here, I'm going to put out some more because I put out some, and the beets are all eaten up. So we're going to put out some more and see. I mean, we put out the carrots and something ate them. I cannot figure out what it is. And I do not like putting out stuff to poison just to be putting it out if you don't know what it is. Problem is I can't figure out what this stuff is. So we're going to eliminate, if it's slugs, okay. I don't see, you know, when you look through here, you're not seeing any worms. You're not seeing, and I come out at night once or twice with a light and I couldn't find anything, but something's eating on them. And I'm just guessing it's slugs. Again, I'll probably try to come out tonight and see if I see anything, because it does get frustrating, because I did plant a lot of carrots, and they didn't, and the carrots came up. It wasn't they didn't come up, they came up, and then something made them to the ground, And then I planted the beets, and the beets came up, and now something's eating them to the ground. So still trying to figure that out. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what's eating your stuff. Over here is the cauliflower, and it's starting to make. It's starting to put out some heads. I might just try to shove these up closer to the house to see if it's, I really don't, we're not hurting for cauliflower right now. So we may see what they can take. I do know if it gets in the lower 20s, it'll wipe them out, even the plants. But that's getting awful cold for if they're headed out. If they're not headed out like this and doesn't have a head on it, they're okay. 28's not going to hurt it. But the ones that start getting heads on it, they can freeze and go bad on you. This is just one of the sumo fruit that's growing. We did test these the other day, and they did taste pretty good. We hadn't eaten any more, but that's the blood orange that we're growing here. Some more of the onions. They're kind of blown over, but I don't think it's going to hurt anything. We'll let it continue to grow and see what happens. And this has got some wilty leaves on it, which usually it's because it's low on water, but it does have a certain amount of weight to it, and I'm not really seeing anything else hurting for water. Actually, that's nice and heavy, so we know it's got water in it, because that's the easiest way to tell. Like here, you can lift this up, and it's heavy, so I know it's got water in it. If it's light, it doesn't have water, because that's the only thing that changes. And a lot of times people try to stick their finger in it and all that. It's easy just to pick up the pot. Then over here we got the onion, the chives for onion chives, and we also got the garlic chives. Have you used any garlic chives lately? I mean, they're doing it, and the onion's starting to come on. The garlic chives are a lot more aggressive than the onion chives. Here's where we got the raised bed. I do have, apparently we had one that a garlic that came up last year, and I didn't get it. Now it's all this, the whole head is making all these different chives. I probably should dig these up and spread them out. I also interplanted some of the onions in here, see how they're going to do. And like I say, the onions came up okay. Here the carrots did okay. We do got a big carrot there that's probably ready to pick.
Yeah, I saw that.
Those stuff over there I've set up when we got down to 26-degree weather, and they seem to be doing fine on the pineapples. I may just leave all that stuff there. Again, 28's kind of tough, because 28 usually things can survive it. What's got me worried at 28 degrees with the loquats, because I got a lot of fruit on these. I may go ahead and try to move that inside, or at least right up against the door, try to protect them, or may move them over there. As I load it down, I hate to lose the fruit at this time. Yeah. And we're getting, I mean, it's middle of January, so we're getting to where, you know, we might be past that. You know, if it doesn't happen the next couple or 3 weeks, we're probably safe, unless Snowmageddon hits again. But, you know, you never know, but a lot of times we don't get a whole lot more, you know, if it doesn't happen the next 2 weeks, probably not going to happen a hard freeze. We get some light freezes, but the hard freezes are usually over in January. But every year's different, and everybody always says, well, the weather's really changing. Well, that's one thing you can always guarantee, is the weather will always change. It never is going to have 2 years the same. So used to, we got it would seem like that the first week in January would be the coldest weather. It didn't seem like it was the last 2 weeks in January. A lot of it's just where those, whenever the cold comes out of Canada, does it come down toward Georgia, or does it come down toward Texas, or does it come down toward Arizona? And according to where it comes, is where you get the really cold weather. This dull loquat, that's got a lot of fruit on it. It's the Yehuda. This over here has sat here where it did not get any protection, and you're seeing the damage you get from the frost and things. So, you know, and it's another one that's more of ornamental. So I'm not really trying to protect it that much, and just kind of seeing how much cold they can take. Come around here, I do have to watch these trees because they're expensive. It's the lychee tree, so I do try to protect them a little bit more. This one I've left out because it's not doing well. I haven't figured what's wrong with it. Even this one's supposed to be able to take down to the mid 20s. I will probably push it, store it to the house and leave it. I've got the little pineapples underneath that table to keep the frost off of them because they have suffered some damage on those. He did eat one of the Oro Blanco pomelos. Want to tell me how it tasted?
It was good.
Oh, that just flew over.
Again. I water it maybe to keep them up.
What did you put?
What's blowing over is the, he did say, because Oro Blancos, he did have a little bit more of the tartness than what the Chandler ones did, but it was where you could still eat it. It wasn't real tart, but it did have some tartness to it.
It's okay.
Hey, no, it's not okay, see?
No, you got scared.
You always make excuses for that dumb dog. And like I say, in here there's not a whole lot. I will show you, we did a video, a short on the dwarf tomatoes. Even these small ones, technically, if you pull this thing up, they've already got roots out the bottom of them.
Oh, wow.
So they've got plenty of roots. You can actually water from the bottom. I did put some water in the bottom of it today. So you just and again, if it's heavy, it's got some water to it. If it's really light, you got to put some water in them. The micros are these here and these here. These are dwarfs that we're planting later. About a month ago, I planted the micros, and 2 weeks ago, I planted 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. I planted the dwarfs. Like I say, they got plenty of roots on the bottom of those. So these are ready to pot up. I don't really have a place to go with them, so I'm leaving them. I did plant the lettuces, and I got some small lettuce coming up. I just got to figure where I have to put them where the slugs don't eat them. So, and these were buttercrunch, I believe.
Well, yeah, that's what you said you were going to do.
And I planted those, and they're germinating well. So,
You can kind of see that short.
let's see.
Oh,
Little bitty ones. And like I
yeah.
say, I can probably leave these outside even tomorrow. I have been bringing these inside though. I'll take them out about lunchtime. Since I've been bringing them in and out,
go.
they're not going to have any burns on them like you would get. Seems like where you get the burns on them is where you leave them in the house all the time, and then when you take them out, then you got to take about a week, to transition them. I mean, it's been sunny all day today, and you're not seeing any of the burns on them that you normally see. So, and they're getting the winds are blowing on them, so they're getting toughened up. So I don't have to go through that week of trying to toughen the leaves up so they won't burn. This here is the plums. I mean, the peaches that continue to bloom out. I will try to get these some protection. It's just a pain to move, but that's why I have them in pots, is so I can put them in and protect them. So, and that one's doing like it's supposed to. It's staying dormant. But especially this one's got a lot of fruit on it, or a lot of blooms on it. I'm trying to save those blooms. Where this one still has some blooms on it, so even if I lose all these blooms that's bloomed out, it's still going to have enough to put on some fruit. So it's not as important. This one don't have, it's pretty much all bloomed out too. So at least try to get them away from here and closer to the house. That is a microclimate. Here you get the north wind blows and it gets colder here than it will over there. It's not much, it may be a degree or two, but again, at 28 degrees, if you can get it to 30, your fruit's okay. If you get down to 26, it's not. So, and 28 is kind of the borderline. So, and you never know for sure just how cold you actually get at your location. So, I'm thinking if I'm over there, I might be safe. If I'm over here, I'm not, because it does get colder here, and it gets colder over there because it's lower over there. So the cold air will settle out and go into the orchard. So if you're going to, create an orchard, think about, are you getting north winds on it? Is it lower? Because the lower areas, that cold will settle. So that does, make a difference. Then over here, we've got, now that one's low. Now this is the size head that you want on broccoli. It's a good
Pretty.
broccoli. It's pretty. You let go 3 or 4 more days, it may not be so pretty. So it's a gambling because it may get bigger, but the quality goes down. We'll probably pick it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Kind of same thing with this one, with the cauliflower. I mean, it's small, but it's a really good quality. And then we're gonna get 20 degrees, or 28 degrees. So do you want to risk it? I'll probably risk those other two just to see, because I don't know. And this here will probably harvest also, just because it's getting.
Yeah.
Once these leaves start opening up, it's not a whole lot longer.
Got some side shoots.
Got some side shoots coming on. We may harvest those. So it is kind of a gamble. And these were planted later than the ones I had out that I've already harvested, but they are getting to the size where, you know, they're not super big size, but they're a size that you can utilize. You can still use it. This is probably ready.
Yeah.
The same thing with these, because you're starting to see that little bit of green starting to come up, so it's just getting where they may. We did plant, and also we planted, you know, there's 2 of these in this bag, so they're gonna fight amongst themselves.
Just 3.
Just 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I was always gonna remove this one. So it made, this one maybe not quite as big, but you know, it still made something. But again, leaving that in there, that's what I get. So you really, I should have only had 2 in this one. I think I had 2 in that one. And I tried to put 2 in each one of them. That one had 3, and I think it's just a little bit too much. Got the roses over there. I mean, they're roses. But these are the blueberries, and they're blooming like crazy, which they tend to do. These are southern high bush. They do plume early, but a lot of times they will still make fruit. So I'm not real worried about it. And this one's really doing good. So it's called Sweet Chris, Snow Chaser, O'Neill, and these 2 are the Rabbit Eye, so they will bloom a little later, so not quite as far along as the other ones. And that one is Pink Lemonade. It's got some, at least it's got some blooms on it. Sometimes it doesn't have blooms on it. So, but anyway, and this is a Roddenberry Peach, which it's doing its thing. It's not coming out early. Haven't sprayed anything yet. And then the pomegranate there. But anyway, that's the tour for today. If you have any comments, comment down below. If you liked the video, hit like. Thanks for watching to the end.
Bye.